Operation status quo. Operation status quo. Prepare to engage. Operation status quo. Ready to engage. Operation status quo. Engaged. Engaged. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Operation Status Quo here on a Wednesday. It is Wednesday, moving through another week. As we do each and every week, we move through the weeks. One week leads to the next week, which turns into a month, and months become years, and years become decades, and oh my gosh, it's exhausting already. How we doing out there? Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. So happy to have you here with me today on Operation Status Quo. Oh my goodness, let me just take a breath and ease into it. I've been running around a little bit today. Matter of fact, just a show note before we start. I have some business tomorrow. Got a little business. I'm a businessman doing business, little business. So I don't know if there's going to be a show tomorrow. If I can make it, I will. And Friday, too, I got something going on. So this might be it for the week. I don't know if that happens. If I miss tomorrow and Friday, I'll probably try to pop in over the weekend because I wouldn't let you guys go all this time without me to, have me to, I don't know, either to find comfort in or to just ridicule or laugh at, whatever works for you. That's what it's all about. Hello and welcome. I am Pete Palma. I am your user-friendly host broadcasting live from the comfy confines of my very own home here, ladies and gentlemen. And this is Operation Status Quo, and if you don't know already, allow me to tell you, this is the place where we observe the status quo of life. We learn to flow with the status quo of life, and then, of course, we create our own flow of quo, because that's the only way to go. And today, ladies and gentlemen, is the 8th of November in the good year 2023, and today's program is entitled Ode to Happy Bob. And Happy Bob is a gentleman that I used to work with in my old job when I was living up in Philadelphia. And I think he retired, before everything shut down with COVID. I'm not 100% sure. I think he did. But either way, long story short, he was he was a customer of ours, I guess I would say, because he was on the engineering side of things while we were on the contracting side of things. And so I want to start this off nicely because first and foremost, I don't want to rip anybody. I like everybody. And I'll be honest with you. I'm going to bust balls a little bit here. I'm going to be honest. But I mean, I like Bob. I never disliked Bob. I used to find him to be a very interesting character when I used to work with him. He was. I wish too, because I made a song about him, but I can't sing it because it has his whole name in it. And I'm not just going to sit here and give his whole name and, try to embarrass him, make a fool out of him. I mean, quite honestly, if you knew the guy, he's doing a good enough job on his own. But Bob, I like you out there, Bob. But, unfortunately, it is what it is. But I always enjoyed, I used to go down to his area and chit chat with him. And, he was a real, I liked him because he didn't care. He was a perfect government employee. He was just a smug, kind of ball buster, just because an engineer too. So a lot of those guys, they think they know everything and they think they're better than everybody. But, he would sit down there and I'm not trying to rip on, I am going to rip a little bit. But Bob, I hope you find this video one day, my friend, because I hope you get a kick out of it. But remember, Bob, if you're watching, I don't know if you've addressed this issue or not, but Bob's belly would hang out from underneath his shirt. Those kind of guys that are just like, there's just so many layers of gelatinous mass that you can't even contain it within a shirt and pants. Can't even keep it covered. I mean, isn't it crazy, the funny thing to think, working in a professional environment, and this guy would have his belly hanging out, literally the bottom of his belly, literally hanging out all the time, like such a slob bone. It was just unbelievable. But that was part of his charm in my mind. He was just like any guy who has the balls to walk around that much like of a slob and disheveled as the way he was. And then he was always talking about his dating websites and the girls that he's going after and this, that, and the other. And I'm thinking, I don't know. I guess you got some money, and I'm glad you do, because I don't understand, what kind of woman in her right mind is looking at you and thinking anything else except for cha-ching, you know what I mean? Because you got money. But first of all, because I know I'm jumping around real quickly here, but the point I'm bringing this up is, Bob, started would troll me a little bit, back during the COVID time more so. I had to unfortunately get rid of him, off my Facebook because I was back then when I was talking about the fake pandemic and the poison jab and all that kind of stuff, and I was trying to bring attention and awareness, to the issues of our mainstream and how our culture is basically a design lie to keep us sick and such. And he always had to make like smart ass comments. I get it, you know what I mean? I don't even mind. Like the thing is, like I get it, people do that. You put stuff. I know how social media is, obviously, right? People are always doing that type of stuff. You're going to just like totally harass you if you say something that they don't agree with. But I was always a little surprised because I never had any ill will towards Bob, and I never gave Bob really a hard time. Like I always kind of ingratiated him. I felt, look at this poor slob with his belly hanging out, with crumbs all over and stains on his shirt. I just like, it's almost like a dog with 3 legs or something. You kind of feel bad, and you want to like ingratiate yourself and let them know that they deserve love too, but Bob had to be a ball buster, and I had to let him go some time ago. And recently, I noticed Bob is trying to get back in the picture. I noticed on my Operation Status Quo Facebook page, he had made a comment, which I didn't even see it. I mean, I know there was a comment there, but I never went to it and read it, because I saw it was from him, and I'm like, oh, this guy. I go, where the hell is this guy coming from out of the blue? Like, where's he been, right? And and then he made a comment yesterday on my video yesterday, and it's funny, just to show that like how people. What's funny about ball busters like that, and that's why we're doing a tribute, to Bob today, because it's not just Bob, it's like all these types of people, right? He sees that there's a video, and I guess yesterday was his birthday, so he makes a comment, today is my birthday, you had to post a video, or you had to post your video today, or something like that. And I'm thinking to myself, well, if you knew the show or anything that I'm actually doing, you would know that I do shows like almost every day. Okay, so it has nothing to do with your birthday, or like I just happened to put a video up on the day that's your birthday. I mean, it's just a weird, thing. I'm almost thinking like, Bob, what, if you really want to say hello, or you really want to get in touch in any kind of way, my contact information, is in the description box below here of all my shows. You can easily reach out to me. I know the guy, right? If he sent me a text or sent me an email or something, I would be like, oh, it's Bob, you know what I mean? And I probably would talk to him. I'd be like, talk to him, because why not? But instead it's always like this backhanded crap, and with these like smug kind of comments. And I know he hasn't said much in the couple messages that he sent recently, but I just know his vibe. So I was talking about the vibes yesterday, right? But I know his vibe, and he's just trying to get under my skin. And it really made me think about just all the other stuff that goes on in social media, like, when I go through, and I know I use this example a ton because it just, it really stands out the most, but some of these discussion groups about, flat earth and such, and people just go on and, if somebody puts up something that they feel is proof that the earth is flat, and these people will just totally, attack. And this is what I find interesting, and to expand on this dynamic, it's not just about you think an idea is stupid, or, you're criticize or something, but, you see how things are so polarized in our world today, where you can't even have like, a balanced conversation. Like, for example, with Bob, I wasn't able to, wouldn't be able to have a conversation with him regarding my thoughts on the pandemic and such. And because like, these people, it just goes to show like how, and again, we're all programmed. So I'm not, speaking high, we're all programmed in certain ways, certain degrees, whatever the case may be. I feel very blessed and fortunate that I can see like beyond the matrix in the sense of what's going on. And I mean, it's so blatantly obvious, that the manipulation that takes place and the corruption on all levels that are keeping us in a life that's not true to our, designed essence. But, you got people like, Bob out there, Bob in his belly. You should make hey, Bob, maybe if you'd like to get in touch with me, we can do another YouTube channel. We'll call it Bob in his belly. Or you can just, you're welcome here. By the way, let me say, Bob, you're welcome here anytime. So feel free to contact me if you want to come on and, maybe have a conversation about some of this stuff. We can absolutely talk about it. I will say, though, because I want to compliment too. First, in the beginning, I did say I think Bob is a nice guy, because everybody's nice, really. I don't think he's a harmful human being, but it's just, it's more so, it's not about like being having the intent of being harmful that is dangerous, as much as just pure ignorance, and people who are so, wrapped up in just, their tunnel vision of the viewpoint. that they can't expand and talk about other things. So, I mean, it's just, and that's what I realized about like this woke agenda and everything else. Like, I mean, it's really what it is, this whole left thing, this movement, with all of it. It's all just such cream puff. Like I want to say cream puff because, everybody's so like, oh, let me cradle you in my arms and let you express who you are and what you feel right now, which is nothing wrong. I think people should express how they feel and talk openly and honestly with each other. But some of it is like just too much over the top of this, like, coddling instead of let's just get to the point. Yeah, let's just be honest and open and have actual communication. We don't have to make a big dramatized production out of it, right? So, to convince people that this is a way to do it, just do it, But to compliment Bob, I would like to say he's a photographer, I believe, as a hobby, and he does a great job. I've seen some of his pictures. Before I blocked him on Facebook, I did see some pictures that he would take, and he really does a nice job. So, hey, Bob, I want you to know it's not all bad out there, but we're paying homage to Bob today because he's exemplifies a lot of what's wrong in our ability to communicate and move forward in our world today. Instead of everyone wanting to fight over the origins of the pandemic or what it actually was or this, that, or the other. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, look, all you got to do is look around and see the world. I'm talking to, like somebody like Bob, Bob in his belly. Bob, I'm talking, if you can get your belly out of the way, Bob, I'm talking to you. But seriously, and that's another thing, not to go on that, but, you got a guy like that who has no regard whatsoever for his own self-care, no responsibility to care for himself in any capacity whatsoever, right? And this is the guy that is like going to, tout the whatever, for, yeah, the pandemic's real and we should all get, jabbed up 16 times. Like, that's the guy believing the medical system, right? Because obviously, because those kind of people who have no ability to know how to take care of themselves are always going to just have to rely on the system, right? So if they were to shun the system and say that, our medical system's not really the right way to go, and our educational system, all these things, if you're really going to stand up for that, then now it puts you in a position of self-responsibility. Oh my God, now you got to do something for yourself without sucking off the teat of the system, So that's why I think mainly a lot of people don't want to do anything, right? Like, I mean, even not to go off on a tangent, but I do that, as you know. Even all these protests that are going on right now over what's happening in the Middle East, these at the colleges and such, I'm not saying anything one way or the other about any of that, but like, I just want to know, what happens, when all of a sudden the phones are gone, and I'm just trying to say it's easy to go protest, it's easy to do all this, because you're within the confines of the system, but either way, the only thing I appreciate about these protests that are going on at the colleges is only because I really believe more so that we should be looking at it from both sides, like, and not even like, Israel, Palestine, and more so just the humans, like human beings, right? And there's no reason, like even our own defense people, I know I'm going way off on a tangent now from my topic, but, our own people and whatever at the White House and the defense people, whatever, they say, we want to minimize, casualties as much as possible, and I'm thinking like, why? That's shouldn't even be like the thought process. If you know that innocent people are getting killed, like, you come up with a different way. It's not like, well, we don't want to kill the innocent people, but we got to blow up these people. So, there's just no choice. I mean, either way, I'm just saying, what one side did is bad, what the other side is doing is just as bad. So I don't understand the thought process of like, we have to go after these people the way they're going after them. But anyway, that's just because it's all bullshit in a show anyway, to get people pissed at each other, especially you want to bring religion into it. It's a great way to get everybody all pissed. And this goes back to talking about our buddy Happy Bob, because, Happy Bob is happy because he's just bobbing down the road, living within the mainstream narrative. And, and that's what I really realized about all this again is like, when they're challenged, when these people are challenged, they just have nothing to offer. They have nothing to offer. They just want to just say, no, I'm right and you're stupid, or you're a conspiracy theorist, or you're this, or you're that. And so it really kind of deflates. It really deflates the purpose of engaging and, like there's no give and take. It's really an interesting thing to me because pre-COVID, before all that happened, it was so different. Like even people that, you disagreed with, there was still some level of kind of community, you might not like or whatever. I mean, I remember people, that weren't necessarily on my page, but like it wasn't such a thing. And then, this COVID happened and it became just, lines in the sand, like whether it be, Trump, whether it be masks, whether it be vaccines, whatever it was, it all became lines in the sand. And like all of a sudden you just couldn't even, certain people you just can't even talk to at all anymore. And if you say one thing, and then that you say one thing and then like you're out, right? Or you're just a total ass or whatever. And, it started there, but now it's grown into like every facet of everything. Like even my friend Tom, when I did that show about the flat earth, and he came on and, started, ripping me. I'm just saying like, yo, Tom, like, me. And I'm just talking like, but really interesting dynamic of like you can't challenge a viewpoint at all. And, and I try to keep myself open to that. I have strong views and opinions and beliefs and such, That's why we do Operation Status Quo, right? Because it's just a perspective. We're looking at the world and, at the end of the day, it's up to us to make the decisions that are best for us so that, we live, a happy life, as much as possible. Maybe not as happy as Happy Bob, because Happy Bob's pretty happy because he's probably on a bunch of prescription meds to keep his heart going. To keep his blood flowing, to keep his diabetes in check. I'm sure he's got to have some of that. Bob, seriously though, God bless you. Maybe you've, taken on some personal responsibility. Maybe you had a little incident or a scare, or maybe you got a little sick or something happened, and maybe now you're going, hardcore at, living good. Maybe you got a ripped six-pack by now. Who knows? I don't know what's going on with Bob. But seriously, Bob, you're welcome to be here. What I like to say is doing this program in honor of Bob today, since he's so, interested after, so much time away, so much interested now to, jab a couple comments at me. Bob, here I am, my friend. Please, you're welcome. Let's see. Do you even take the time to watch something like this that you would even know that I'm talking about you? I bet you it's about you, don't you? It is, Bob.
Heyo.
This one is about you. So, again, I do want to say that I think Bob's a nice guy because I don't want to, it's not about any, what do I talk about a lot here? This is a place of like encouragement, empowering people to be their best. And I would encourage Bob to be his best too. And I would love to, speak with him. But, what can you do? You can't communicate with people who aren't willing to listen, or, I can't tell you how many people I talk to in my life. And it's like, man, I feel like I keep changing and growing and learning. And I talk to people from my past and like, they're still in the same rut routine thought process. I'm like, I don't know. I'm getting older and my thought process changes all the time. Like, how does your thought process stay the same? Like, for 20 years, 30 years, like how's your thought process? You're still like you're in high school. Some people, it's just, it's really interesting. I'm blessed. I feel so blessed to have whatever it is in me that, my spiritual energy is, enough, whatever it is that I am, that I'm able to see through, the veil of a lot of crap. And I always have since, I was young. That's why I've never been successful in a lot of my jobs, because I just can't do bullshit, man. I just can't do bullshit. And like, I see bullshit and it's like, I just feel like wasted time. And, it's just, I don't know. I just don't like fake crap, and, yo, Bob, so I don't think you're a fake person, Bob. I know you have family. I'm sure they love you. I'm sure you love them. I'm sure you're good to your family, How many wives have you gone through since I last talked to you? I'm not going to get into his personal stories with that. Yeah. Anyway, Bob, this show is for you. All right, my friend. So I appreciate that obviously, to be trolling me on little old this channel where my views get taken away every day and everything else, to be trolling me here is really kind of a testament to the sadness you must be experiencing in your life of nothing to do, that you're worried about what I'm doing and you want to make snarky comments. But Bob, if you do have any balls, if you can lift your belly enough and see if you still have balls, feel free to reach out to me. My contact information's in the description box below, and let's set it up and let's have you on the show and you and I can, have a little chat. I'm not angry or anything. I'd be happy to talk to you. I'd love to see if you've had any kind of revelations since we last communicated. Like maybe you've seen the light a little bit with the lies that our mainstream has been telling and all the harm that's been caused by the jab and everything else. So, and the blatant obvious. Now it's blatantly obvious now that there was no pandemic, but I mean, are you realizing that, or are you still, chasing after Biden to lick his ass? I don't know. What are you doing out there, Bob, instead of, trolling people? But hopefully you're still out there taking nice pictures, and if you want to share some of your photos here, maybe we can do a show like that. You come on, you can share some of your photos, or we can have a discussion, and I'll send you, I'm sure it would probably would love it. I'll send you maybe a McDonald's gift card so you can get about 6-7 Big Macs to stuff in your gullet. You know what I mean, my friend? All right, seriously, I'm being a little rude. I'm sorry, Bob. Let me give a round of applause for Bob. I like Bob. I do. I like Bob. Bob in his belly. Remember Bob the Builder? It's Bob in his belly.
Hey-o.
That belly had a life of its own. That's like the antithesis of a belly dancer's belly, that's a belly. It's like the Blob. It is. It's like Grimace. Remember Grimace, from McDonald's, speaking of McDonald's, the big purple kind of thing, like Grimace. I mean, that's kind of like what Bob's belly's like. All right. So seriously, listen, I'm not about being mean. I'm having some fun. These people out on the internet, all they want to do is troll. Even when I post comments in groups, sometimes on Facebook, certain things, I'll just kind of offer a thought. I'm not saying this is true, but maybe this. And then you get all the little faces, the laugh emojis. They're laughing at you. They're telling you you're an idiot, and I'm just saying, you don't even know me, man. I'm an open person. I'm happy to engage and have a conversation and hear your thoughts. I'm just expressing my thoughts and try to explain to you why I'm thinking what I'm thinking. But, these people see people doing that type of thing and they just want to shut you down, and that's the reason I did this today, because I just know that Bob's an example of one of those type of people. Just gonna shut. They're not gonna listen. They're gonna shut you down. Because if you're trying to express something that is outside, excuse me here, my wires are falling off the table. If you're trying to express something outside the confines of their comfort zone, or even their potential pool or base of knowledge, just forget about it. It's just like they just laugh. Ah, you're an idiot, and they just laugh at you. So anyway. That's it. So don't let these people out there, ladies and gentlemen. I encourage everyone to always speak their mind. I will continue to speak my mind. I guess it's lucky in a way that nobody sees the show, because I probably would be chastised much worse. I would be able to do a show about a different troll every day instead of just good old happy Bob. But so stay true to yourself. Believe in who you are. Do what you want to do. Do your thing. And don't let these people get you down when somebody comes around and says a negative thing or tries to whatever, make you feel less than, and then that's just more reason to, keep moving forward. So today, ladies and gentlemen, we celebrate Happy Bob, just one of Operation Status Quo's most favorite trolls. Glad to see you're back out there, Bob. Glad to see you're still alive. Quite honestly, I'm shocked.
Hey-o.
So seriously, you know how to contact me if you want to. Feel free. And that goes for all you people out there too. Feel free to contact me. Let me know what you're thinking. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share. Send this out to your friends, your family, those you love, and of course, those you despise as well. God bless each and every one of you. Like I said, tomorrow I probably won't be here. I might try to make I'm on travels a little bit the next day or two, so I might make a couple videos that I can upload or do something live from my phone. I don't know. We'll see how the day goes and how I feel and all that type of stuff. But anyway, until then, ladies and gentlemen, take care, be well, God bless, and Operation Status Quo disengaged. Happy Bob, happy Bob, happy Bob and his belly. Happy Bob, a belly full of jelly.